Hey, what's going on guys? My name is Madison Charlton from MLC Tech, and now today we're doing a video on reports of Intel's top-end 13th and 14th gen CPUs facing the issue of game instability and straight-up crashing in some cases. Now this is an issue that primarily affects Unreal Engine titles, with a division of Epic Games along with Nvidia and other gaming studios. I can't really point the finger solely at Team Blue's hot and power-hungry hardware. So sit back and relax as we dive into the current issues with Intel 13th and 14th gen CPUs. Now there has been several reports of the Core i9 3900K and Core i7 4900K processors experiencing crashes in games that share an out of video memory error. And this issue is also being reported by those using the non-K SKU of these CPUs. In a lengthy post from the Epic-owned Rad Studios, the company behind the BINC video codec and UDL data compression technology, they explain that the problem is a combination of BIOS settings and the high clock speeds and power usage of Intel's processors, which is a combination that results in system instability and unpredictable behavior in heavy workloads. Now the main source of this issue is a combination of how the software interfaces with the firmware and how then that firmware interfaces with the hardware. Most C690 and C790 chipset motherboards include BIOS level unlocks for the power limits, particularly the maximum turbo power, which we use interchangeably with the term PL2. By default, the i9 3900K and the i7 13700K comes with a PL2 value of 253 watts, which already sounds like a lot of wattage, but you can then get the motherboard to unlock this limit, which basically tells the processor that it has 4096 watts of power to tap, so technically far from a stock configuration anymore. Now of course that is a silly power limit, and neither your power supply nor CPU VRMs are capable of delivering that much wattage. And so what the processor tends to do is draw as much power as it needs to maintain the best possible peak or boost frequencies before running into its firmware limits. And at stock frequencies with boost stock power bins can drive the power draw of the 3900K as far as 373 watts under a multi-threaded load. Now Rad themselves has come out to emphasize that there are no reported software bugs in UDL or Unreal Engine causing this very issue. It says overly optimistic BIOS settings are causing a small percentage of processors to go out of their functional range of clock rate and power draw under high load and execute instructions incorrectly. The crashing appears to be affecting Unreal Engine games more than others due to UDL data decompression performing extra integrity checks resulting in error messages. Rad states that the error has also been appearing in software such as Cinebench, Prime 95 and Handbrake. Now this problem isn't exactly a new one when it comes to Intel processors. The developer studio Fatshark, who created games such as Vermintide 2 and Warhammer 40,000 Darktide, noted 2 months ago that players with 13900Ks and 13700K CPUs are prone to these crashes. And the workaround for this crash and instability issue was to underclock the performance cores using Intel Extreme Tuning Utility from a multiplier of 55 down to a multiplier of 53. Another gaming studio, that being Gearbox Games, meanwhile identified an out-of-video memory crash on some 13th gen CPUs in Remnant 2. Again, the solution was the exact same as Fatshark's workaround, which was to remove any overclocks or using the Intel's Extreme Tuning Utility, though it's important to know that if you make the changes directly in the BIOS, then this will make these new settings set in stone after you've restarted and turned off your PC. Unlike Extreme Tuning Utility, you have to reapply your profile every time you launch your PC. And that isn't the only space that people are seeing crashes with this very issue. And now a lot of people are seeing crashes during the shader compilation process, with there being reports and testing from other users in games such as Star Wars Jedi Survivor and Lies of P. It was reported that CCPUs wouldn't even get past this stage until they applied the fixes as mentioned before, and that was dialing back overclock profiles to stock settings. Now other things that have helped out with this issue are things such as disabling Pacific motherboard OC features such as ASUS's multi-core enhancement, though in some cases the problem has also been affected running games at stock settings. Now unfortunately I am unable to conduct my own independent testing of this very issue due to the fact that I don't have access to any 13th or 14th gen CPUs at the moment. The newest Intel CPU that I have access to is Intel 12th Gen, as the rest of my modern systems are all running AMD at the moment, so I have no access to conduct my own independent testing. Though if you would like some investigation on if this issue affects Intel 12th Gen, do let me know, as I would love to take a deep dive into this. But never fear for now, as Tom's Hardware actually carried out its own brilliant investigation on this issue and was able to confirm themselves that this issue is indeed related to the high default power and current limits that some Intel motherboards may use. Where we see most of the time the CPU itself isn't the main issue when it comes to these crashes and instabilities, with it being the profiles and settings of the motherboard itself being the thing that causes these instabilities with its aggressive voltage profiles. So I don't want this video to be a Intel bad, AMD good video, as AMD had faced similar issues last year with aggressive voltage profiles on its X3D CPUs. That was as a direct result of the motherboard profile itself. But back to the issue at hand. Now, downclocking your CPU or lowering the power and current limits and undervolting CPUs isn't going to be something that most people are happy about doing, partially due to the potential performance impacts that this could have on someone's system. But this issue is currently ongoing and still developing, so stay tuned on this small channel, as I would love to do a follow-up video on this very issue and report back to you all the updates and developments around this. So while it absolutely sucks that people are experiencing these issues in games at the moment, luckily it is something that will be fixed, and history has always repeated itself when there's been an instability issue with a CPU related to aggressive voltage profiles directly on the motherboard. This has always been proven to be fixed after time, so the only advice I can do is just wait in there until motherboard manufacturers readjust their voltage curves to fix this issue. Anyway, that's going to be it for today's video. Let me know all of your thoughts and opinions on the story in the comments down below. Are you currently experiencing instability issues with your 13th or 14th gen Intel CPU? And what do you think of this being another case of over-aggressive voltage settings on motherboards? Let me know all of that in the comments down below. Anyway, I have been Madison Charlton from MLC Tech. Thank you so much for watching today's video. If you liked it in any way, shape or form, make sure to give this video a like and maybe subscribe for more content like this in the future. Thank you once again for watching today's video, and I hope to see you in another video soon. Goodbye for now.